Okay, good morning, and thank you guys for coming and seeing us and having an open house this morning. And I'm going to kind of just walk you through what we have here, and if you have any questions, please feel free to ask, and we'll get you an answer. But this is our multi-purpose indoor facility, and it is 65 yards long, regulation width. We have two 70-foot batting cages, and we have a dividing net that will separate the softball field from the baseball field. And as we walk around, I'll kind of show you how those are laid out. The net that drops is actually rated to have golf balls hit into it, so the golf team can practice indoors as well. We have a 236-meter walking track that can serve both purposes of sprinting and off-season conditioning. All the nets are hoisted in the air, so they'll electronically go up and down, as well as the middle net to divide it. The beauty of this facility is we can have all of our spring sports at one time working out. Everywhere I've been, you know, after school you'd have softball for an hour and a half, 2 hours. Baseball had to come back later. Track, you know, they didn't even get an opportunity to really work out, had to go to the gym. We can serve every spring sport we have. Band, cheerleading, everything, we can make it work with the size that we have. So if you guys want to, we can kind of just work around the track here. For the softball field, home plate's in the corner. So when the dividing net is down, you've almost got a regulation left field for softball. Right field's obviously a little short. Center field is a little short, but I actually had the softball team yesterday, 8th period, and we did outfield practice and infield practice, and we had 6 stations of hitting going on. So we got a lot of work done in 30 minutes with those girls, and the transition with the girls not having to travel to the softball field and the boys to the baseball field, we can get out of 7th period, come to 8th period, and get started with practice. So we actually just purchased some temporary bases. I can show you guys those when we walk by, that they kind of have like cleats. The bases have cleats and they stick down in the turf, so that's pretty neat as well. If we guys want to walk around here, we have 6 garage doors that can be lifted up. I don't know, it's 51 degrees outside right now. We have no heat on whatsoever, and I think we're sitting around 65 degrees in here. Yeah, so we actually set the heat at about 50 degrees just for the fire lines, in case we had a fire, to keep those from freezing. We do have heat. If you notice up here, we have 4 air handlers, and if the temperature does get hot, we can actually turn those on and it'll suck the heat out of the building, probably 10-15 minutes. They did recommend that we have the doors up, 2 doors up at 3 feet, because it does pull enough air where it could suck the garage doors out of the building. Oh, wow. And I don't want to be the guy that's responsible for that. So if we go ahead and walk around here, as you can see, this would be home plate for the softball. Sorry, Gil. This is home plate. So you can see that infield practice, Dr. Richards is walking to the mound. So this would be the softball field. Yesterday we had the net up. We had full capacity to the whole thing, and it was really neat how much work we got done. We'll come on around here. As you noticed, Our track, it's 236 meters. Take you about 7 laps to get you a mile. I had to look that up because I did go to Clovis High School. We got a little high on the number there. This is our softball net, 70 feet. We've got suspended in the ceiling, so when they're not in use, we could put them up. We're doing a lot of softball and baseball right now, so we're just leaving them down. But we've got 6 10-foot nets, so we can actually divide those nets into 4 nets if we had to get more kids reps on live hitting. So
what happens if the high fly hits one of those fans or one of those lights?
Well, if you're lucky, it doesn't come back at you.
Right.
But they're pretty tough. I think they're actually those fans are helicopter grade. So you're not going to hurt the fans. It's just which direction the ball goes after you hit the fan. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. This turf is a field turf. It's a 2 1/4. They make it up to 2 3/4, but we wanted to have a truer roll for baseball and softball and field and ground balls. We're really happy it's the same turf that's at Texas Tech's indoor Texas Tech's football field, and outside's an older version of this turf. So we're real pleased with how that turned out. Chad took off. So all the nets are all controlled off of those 3 controllers next to the fire hydrant.
Okay. Wow.
And so it's a key. Takes about 4 minutes for this net to come down. But we're talking 53 3/4 yards wide, and it's 54 feet to the top. Right. So it's pretty impressive. And if we get a chance here at the end, I might put that net, have Chad put that net down so y'all can see it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It cuts the field perfect in half.
Perfect in half.
Yes, ma'am. So we could have softball going and baseball going at the same time. And then we bought some of those nets where we could have our track kids in spots where we're starting them, just to kind of protect them a little bit. You know, we want to do a lot of track on this side because we have this built 140 feet of nets to protect them. So, and then we could have golf. I mean, they can be right here hitting golf balls into that net right there. And it's a really big net, Richard, so you can hit it wherever you want. And on the baseball field, and as we get around, I will show you guys the bases. Obviously, it's a little tighter. Baseball's at 90 feet for the bases. And I bet everybody here has played on a baseball field. I want just being in the building, when you stand on first base, I don't know how we ever made those throws from home plate. It looks forever, but we've measured it 500 times, and it's 90 feet. Really? But, I mean, second base, see if I can find second base, Gil. The corner of that end zone is the home. Can you find second base, Doc? And nobody's going to believe me. That's second base.
Okay,
and
wait, first.
That's the softball. So first base is right above the E on the Muleshoe. You can kind of see the gray speck.
Okay.
It's just, I don't know if it's the optics in here, but
First base is where?
see the E?
Uh-huh.
Okay, right above the top of the E on the back line of the end zone. There's a little gray speck.
That's first base?
That's
second base?
That's second base.
I agree with you.
It's a throw now.
That's a throw.
It is. It is, but we measured it, Dr. Richards. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we can get a baseball and see if you guys want to make a throw or something here. I don't know how I ever made this throw. It is. Right here is all for our big equipment. We'll store all of our big items in here, our nets, our rollers, and for example, we got that big delivery yesterday. We can bring a forklift right in the garage door. Or, you know, if the softball coach has to quickly come from the softball field because weather came in, he can just pull up right there, unload all of his stuff, and start practice. So pretty impressive. Chad did a great job designing this storage room for sure.
So the design of this, who did you have a architect?
Park Hill was the architects out of Lubbock, and Sandia Construction was the builders.
But y'all give them the input of what you want, and they design it?
Yes, sir. Lots of input. Miss Heathington did a great job too. We're going to Miss Heathington's part here in a second.
How would you like to have this?
Oh my gosh.
That will serve the indoor and the conference room. If you guys don't have any questions about the indoor facility, we'll go ahead and transition into the conference room. I'll take you into the entryway, and we'll work ourselves around. To our conference room where we can have teacher trainings. We can supplement some time after school for kids, reading programs, etc. And I'll just kind of let y'all walk through. We have a serving kitchen, and in the conference room we can seat 184 people. So we can get our staff in there, not quite big enough for banquets and stuff, but I'll let you guys kind of just wander through the kitchen, and we'll go and meet each other in the conference room. Have you seen the view from the windows?
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's... Mm-hmm. It's pretty neat little view from the football field too, looking back up.
Yeah.
But this is, I mean, even where y'all, this is a great view.
Absolutely.
We're gonna eventually probably put some like high top tables right there, so you went and got your food, and you know the people that don't want to sit down, they can watch it. And then we have the game live streamed on the TVs.
Oh, really?
So if you wanted to have an event, the people that just rather sit down and visit
During the football?
during the football game.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Will it be open during regular games?
Well,
Good morning, everybody. My name is Chad Beall. I'm the facilities director here at Muleshoe ISD. Just kind of wanted to go into a few details about some of the things and how the process went of having this new building built. So when I went to work here, I met with the committee of members and that had decided that we needed to have an indoor facility. And so with those committees, we all sat down. Those committee members, we all sat down and got together and put some ideas on napkins and scratch pads and kind of handed it over to me and said, let's see what we got. So I threw some ideas together along with bouncing them off all the wonderful experience we had here from coaches and administrators and started kind of putting something together. Then we met with some architects and gave them our ideas, and on a day-to-day basis we'd meet and talk and get everything designed. So on the inside of this facility where the turf room is, one of the things that we changed is instead of putting the columns that support the roof on the inside of the building, we moved those out so that we would have a flush wall along the track. And what that does is that makes it safe for the students, whether they're running track or catching passes or filling a ball. They don't have to worry about a beam sticking out in the middle of the floor. But on the plus side of that, with that being flush, they go on the exterior side of the building. With that being said, it doesn't look like a hay barn in the middle of by sitting next to the football field. It gives it another dimension to it, which adds a really cool effect to it. inside the building, when I went around and looked at some other facilities, what I saw was plywood on the insides of the facilities. And it looked good, but it just wasn't that perfection that Muleshoe ISD strives for. So what I wanted to do was I did some research and I found a high-impact sheetrock. So we're blessed that the inside of our walls has a finished product of sheetrock, tape, bed, and texture, which gives it a clean, very nice looking inside the facility. Now, we've done some tests on it, and this sheetrock can withstand footballs or baseballs being thrown into it. Hitting into it does affect it, but it doesn't break it. It may dimple it, but it doesn't break it. And so that's a positive for that. A lot of the details as far as the aesthetics inside the building, we wanted to do upgrades with cove base. It's just not a typical cove base of a 4-inch cove base that you see there. The windows and the outside corners, we did metal on those so that they would withstand not being chipped all the time. Lots of things outside that I tried to use my experience for what would last and what would hold up. And so that's kind of how it worked on that part. From a day-to-day basis, I was here anywhere from 4 to 6 hours a day, making sure things were done to perfection. The district entrusted a lot into me to making sure things were done right, and I believe if you're going to do something, do it right. And I will tell you that the construction company that we had build this, the general contractor, Sandia Construction, was a privilege to work with. They did us an absolute wonderful job to do that. We had a superintendent here on the site that was just like me, very perfectionist, paid attention to details, and took great pride in what he did. So overall, this was a great experience for me. Would I do it again? Yes, I would do it again. We had great subcontractors that once they learned that we were taking pride in everything that we did, they took pride in their work, and were very pleased when they walked out of here that their name was on this building. And so that's kind of the process.
I'm Dani Heathington, and I've been in Muleshoe all my life and retired about a year and a half ago from Muleshoe ISD after 28 years in the district.
Tell me some of your thoughts and feelings after walking into this building and see the finished product.
Well, to me, I go back to when we finished all the buildings after our bond election, and we basically rebuilt the high school and all the campuses, and just the fact that Muleshoe has a facility like this, it's unlike any other, and it just that it's sitting here in Muleshoe, Texas at Muleshoe ISD is just unbelievable to me. What a blessing for our kids and for our community.
Has it been fun showing it to all your family members, grandkids?
Yes, that my grandkid, 3 of my grandkids got to come in on Monday night, and they've been looking forward to seeing the finished product, you know, since it started in January of 2022, and it was just so much fun. And I'm very blessed that and honored at how the district has honored me, but the true blessing is the facility for our kids and their future, and just what it can do for our community as well.
Tell me about your journey through your professional career at MISD. You went from a teacher?
Well, I actually started as an aide.
Okay.
I started as an aide, and decided through some prompting from family members and Barbara Finney, who was the principal at that time where I was working, to go back and get my degree in education. So I did that, and I taught 10 years. After being an aide for 3, I taught 10 years, and then through some prompting by Brian Arnold, who at that time was the special ed director, I went back and got my master's in administration. And so took that track. I started out as a student services coordinator at the junior high, and then became assistant principal and principal at that campus, and then principal at Dillman. And then Dr. Richards blessed me by asking me to join him at the administration office as the assistant superintendent.
Well, we're blessed to have you as a teacher and administrator and this facility, and to have your name on it. Thanks you so much, Dana.
Thank you, Gil.